The Zephyrian science vessel Stellar Harmony hung in space like a silver needle against the cosmic void. Its sensors trained on the third planet orbiting the yellow star the locals called Sol. Commander Vexithara adjusted her environmental suit's radiation shielding for the 5th time that cycle, her forearms trembling slightly as she reviewed the atmospheric readings. "The radiation levels are catastrophic," she reported to the bridge crew, her voice filtering through the suit's communication system. "This planet's star bombards the surface with lethal doses of ultraviolet radiation. Any unprotected organic life should be extinct within moments of exposure." The bridge fell silent. For 3 cycles they had been observing this world, documenting what appeared to be an impossible anomaly. The planet teemed with life, complex, thriving, inexplicably alive life. "Perhaps they live underground?" suggested Navigation Officer Quintal, his own suit's cooling systems whirring audibly. "Like the cave dwellers of Proxima Centauri?" Vexthara shook her head, causing her suit's helmet to rattle. "Negative. Our scans show massive population centers on the surface. They've built entire civilizations directly under this Death Star's rays." Science Officer Yilneth pulled up a holographic display showing the planet's surface. Cities sprawled across continents connected by vast networks of transportation. Most disturbing of all were the readings of individual life forms moving about freely, apparently unprotected under the star's harsh glare. "It's impossible," Yilneth whispered. "According to our models, exposure to radiation of this intensity would cause cellular breakdown within minutes. Their skin should be burning off. Their genetic material should be completely corrupted." The crew watched in stunned silence as their long-range scanners captured images of the planet's inhabitants, bipedal creatures clearly organic, walking around in what appeared to be nothing more than thin fabric coverings. Some were engaging in recreational activities directly under the star's rays, while others tended to vegetation that somehow thrived in the radioactive environment. "Perhaps they've developed some kind of energy shield technology we can't detect," Quintal offered hopefully. Vexithara zoomed in on a particular group of the creatures. They were gathered on what appeared to be a beach, lying motionless on the sand while the deadly radiation poured down on them. If that were the case, why would they deliberately expose themselves? "Look at this. They're voluntarily bathing in radiation that would kill us in seconds." The bridge crew collectively shuddered, their suits' life support systems working overtime to maintain safe conditions even within their heavily shielded vessel. "Commander," came a voice from the communication station. "We're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. It appears to be directed at us." "Impossible. How could they have detected us?" "Unknown, sir. But the signal is clear and they're speaking in what our translators recognize as a greeting protocol." Vexithara hesitated. First contact protocols required extreme caution, especially with a species that had apparently mastered surviving in conditions that defied all known biological principles. "Put it through," she ordered. A cheerful voice filled the bridge. "Hello there. We noticed your ship up there and thought we'd say hi. I'm Jake, and I'm speaking to you from sunny California. Beautiful day down here, perfect beach weather." The crew exchanged bewildered glances. This Jake sounded remarkably casual for someone supposedly living in a radioactive wasteland. "Greetings," Vexthara replied carefully. "We are explorers from the Zephyrian Coalition. We are concerned about the radiation levels on your planet. How do your people survive such intense stellar bombardment?" A sound came through the communicator that their translators identified as laughter. "Oh, you mean the sun? Yeah, it can be pretty intense. I just put on some SPF 30 sunscreen this morning before heading out. Works great. Though I probably should have gone with SPF 50, I'm getting a little pink." The bridge fell silent again. SPF 30? Sunscreen? What kind of miraculous technology was this? "This sunscreen," Vexithara said slowly. "Is this some form of molecular protection field?" "Well, I guess you could call it that," Jake replied. "It's just a cream with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Blocks about 97% of UV rays. Cost me like $8 at the drugstore." Science Officer Yilneth frantically ran calculations. "Commander, if their sunscreen blocks 97% of the radiation, the remaining 3% should still be lethal to organic tissue." "Jake," Vexthara continued, "what happens if you don't use this sunscreen?" "Oh, you get sunburned. It's uncomfortable for a few days, skin peels a bit, but you recover. Some people tan instead. Their skin actually gets darker as protection. Pretty neat evolutionary adaptation, really." The crew was speechless. These creatures had evolved to not only survive but actually adapt to radiation that would instantly kill most known species. And they treated it so casually that they had commercialized protection that cost mere $8. There's something else, Jake added. My buddy Tom here spent all day surfing without any sunscreen. He's kind of red now, but he says it was totally worth it. Apparently some humans actually seek out extra sun exposure. They call it getting a tan. Commander Vexthera looked around at her crew, all sealed in their expensive high-tech radiation suits, aboard a vessel that required massive energy expenditures just to maintain safe radiation levels. Meanwhile, these humans were deliberately exposing themselves to lethal radiation for recreational purposes. Jake, she said finally, we would like to learn more about your species. Sure thing. Hey, why don't you come down for a visit? The weather's perfect and I know a great taco place. Fair warning though, you might want to bring some sunscreen. You sound like you might have sensitive skin. As the transmission ended, the bridge crew sat in stunned silence, contemplating the implications. They had encountered a species so remarkably adapted to cosmic radiation that they treated their star not as a source of death, but as a provider of pleasant weather. In the end, the Zephyrians would remember humanity not for their technology or their weapons, but for their casual mastery of survival in conditions that would terrify the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. They had turned their star from an enemy into an ally, armed with nothing more than $8 sunscreen and an inexplicable desire to get a tan. The universe, it seemed, belonged to those brave enough to simply step outside and enjoy the sunshine.